We have it number 2. My name is James Williams Jr. And tonight, this is going to be the only blog that I'm doing. Have a busy weekend coming up, hopefully. So, my blog tonight, this is not a title blog, I'm going straight into it from here. That way you won't be wasting time checking for it. Tonight, I'm going to blog about I hate when people think that their mate is a badass. Alright? Now, let me break it down for you. Alright. Unless you've actually seen your mate in a fight and you know for sure that he is a badass, do not assume that he is the baddest of the badasses. So let me tell you something. As a Kung Fu master, as a former military man, I have learned many things in both of these tracks. And no matter how good you are, or how good you think you are, or how badass people think you may be, there are very few badasses out here. Alright? So you need to get that straight. Just because your man may appear to be a badass, he may have fucked some people up here and there. That doesn't necessarily make him a badass. See, here's the rule of thumb about being a badass. A badass never has to let anybody know that they're a badass. In fact, if you want the truth, most badasses deny that they're a badass so they can have access to fucking your shit up when you least fucking expect it. People used to go around telling me that I thought I was a badass. No, there's a big difference between thinking you're a badass and actually knowing you are a badass. I've never claimed to be a badass. I will deny being a badass until the day I die. If you think I'm a badass, thank you. If you don't think I'm a badass, thank you. Here's the thing. I look completely wussy when you see me on first approach. And you need to learn one thing real quick. Looks are fucking deceiving. If you've seen any of my videos, yeah, I really do know Kung Fu. When was the last time I actually ever had to apply it in a real fight, not in a movie situation? When I was 15. Simple as that. Sparring matches and things, that's cool. You know, you get to show off a little bit, but you can't really cut loose because somebody's going to fucking get hurt or somebody's going to get mad. Then somebody's going to have to really get their ass kicked. So, sparring and training, cool. But just because you're good at sparring and training does not necessarily make you a badass. Your principal knowledge is what makes you a badass. There are 365 pressure points in the human body. 275 will actually kill you, and I know at least 253. Alright? There are fatal spots within the human body. The simplest touch can render a person completely powerless. And knowing that is what would be one of those lines of things that would consider making me a badass. But here's the thing about being a badass. Sometimes when you claim to be a badass, you bump into that one motherfucker that's actually a badass or a badder ass than you're a badass, which means you're going to be embarrassed. So here's the thing. I've never claimed to be a badass, but I'm not bad, and the bad don't fuck with me. Because most people know it don't take much to fucking get your reputation taken from you. One fuck up here, one slip there, you forgot this skill, or you forgot that trait, or you forgot how to do the 7 steps to the sun, the keeping that Goku, or the way of the Fang, depending on which one you want to call it. But there is a touch of death. I don't per se would say that I know it, but I would say I'm not afraid to attempt to try it. You know, but I do know that, like I said, there are 253 pressure points that for sure will kill you. So, I do know how to kill with my bare hands. So people always talking about somewhere, you need to get a gun, you need to do this, you need to do that. And so here's the one thing you gotta understand about a gun. A gun is 10 seconds of your life. It can make you or break you. It can make you if you get to it fast enough so that you can use it, or it can break you if you get to it and that person's in striking distance and they can take it from you. So when people always talk about, so never bring a gun to a knife fight, well, I'm going to give you a little piece of advice. That depends on how good that motherfucker is with that knife. Because if he's better with that knife than you are with that gun, or he can get to that knife faster than you can get to that gun, I'm sorry to tell you, but you may have a problem. You know, because a lot of people don't understand the power of a knife. You know, a knife is good. People assume that a gun is better because you have more bullets. And granted, no one on earth can outrun a bullet. You might be able to dodge that motherfucker because a bullet cannot zigzag. It can't boomerang, at least not yet anyway, unless there's some secret dead projects that we don't fucking know about in the United States military. But as far as we know, a bullet can't boomerang. It can't turn around a corner. It can go through a wall, but it can't go around a corner and hit the target. Unless, again, we have some secret things that they've been working on and the movies aren't bullshitting. To be a badass, you need to be able to kill people with everything that you touch. Not too many people can say they can walk up to somebody with a straight comb and fuck their shit up. I can say that. Everything that I touch is my weapon. It is an extension of the knowledge that I have. And the knowledge of the human body is the ultimate knowledge. If you can disable the human body, you can disable the world. This is the difference between being able to push a button and pull a trigger. You have 365 pressure points through the human body, and those genetic freaks that have 366 are the ones you have to worry about. And don't say that it can't happen. But this, and this, I just killed you twice with the fucking comb. Same thing I do with a comb, I can do with an ink pen. Same thing I do with an ink pen, I can do with a stick pen, a needle, a knife. And, more importantly, my pinky. Now you might be thinking, you're full of shit, James. How many people are really willing to take that chance that I might be telling the truth and that my full of shitness that you assume might actually not be on the line of bullshit and it might actually be something that can be done? Well, let's see. I've been fighting since I was 6 years old in the martial art field. Granted, I never got a chance to actually be in a martial art tournament and become a real champion. But on the streets, you know, ain't nobody gonna fuck with me. And if I have a comb in my hand on the streets, I'm pretty much going to be devastating with this comb. Same thing with the brush. What you think of as a standard weapon would be a knife or a gun. What you think of as a conventional weapon would be whatever the fuck I have in my hand. Rather it be a comb, a brush, an ink pen, a knife, a brick, a rock, a stick. The world's first weapon was a stone, people. Cain beat Abel to death with a stone. Or was it Abel to beat Cain to death with a stone? Somebody killed somebody with a motherfucking stone and his blood cried out to God. Any damn way you know it. If you can be beat to death with a fucking rock, just think of what the fuck a person can do with a conventional weapon like a set of keys or a comb or a brush. It's not what you think you know. It's what you actually know. It's not the knowledge that someone tells you. It's what you know what your body can do. To be a badass, to be a martial artist, first, you must clear your mind. Secondly, you must be taught by people who actually know what the fuck they're doing. So when you're sitting in class for 2 years, horse punching and horse fists and block, but you're not outside actually testing your skills. The only thing you have learned, as Bruce Lee would put it, is how to exercise. So that's not doing you any good. So what you need to do from there is learn how to do more. Now, a good teacher will not tell you what they want you to learn. They will tell you what you need to learn. And what you need to learn is a whole lot more important than any kick and any punch. Because to do any martial arts, a kick is always going to be a kick. A punch is always going to be a punch. It's not how hard, it's where you land that son of a bitch. It's the difference maker between you hurting someone or you ending their life. Now, back in the 70s and 80s, it was a different type of martial arts. It was real martial arts. It was hardcore martial arts. There was training where people actually can do things and teach you, and you had to be tough enough to take it. If not, well, you get into the back of the line. Nowadays, everything is watered down and soft, so you kind of got to go with the flow and pray like hell that you practice so that if you actually have to use it, you'll be on your P's and Q's with it. But the thing is, you have to practice. You have to practice every day, every night. I ain't saying you got to practice 24/7. I am saying that it wouldn't hurt if you did. You know, at least 3 days a week. Especially on the weekends. If you only practice Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, at least if there's a fight breaking out over the weekend, you will be prepared for that fight. So I was watching something in case you wanted to know how I got to this subject. So I was watching this chick on this video. And yes, it was a site on Flirt Me Mania or some shit. And this chick in a purple bra, her boyfriend is not much bigger than me. And I'm not gonna say the little fucker's not a badass. But here's the thing. I don't care if I'm dating you or whatever. Don't tell everybody that I'm a badass. Because this is how many guys find out that they're not as bad as they think they are. The best thing a badass will try to do is walk away from a fight until you get them in a corner where they don't have a position, or you put them in a spot where, you know, you fucking with my girlfriend. Now I got to fucking fuck you up. And most badasses reserve the right to fuck you up. So, why do you want to take the chance that this motherfucker might actually be an ace with these bitches right here and them things he stand on? There's a difference between being brave and being stupid. Alright? Being brave, you sign up to fight for your country. You want to make a difference. You want to be somebody that's not a drug dealer or a high school dropout or something that has no positivity whatsoever in life. To be a badass, lots of sacrifices must be made. And it is better to be tough as nails than strong as fuck. Now, I'm going to explain that because a lot of you muscle down motherfuckers just looked up and said, "What? Little nigger thinks he's a badass because he's tougher than me?" Hold your brakes, fella. Being strong and having 300 pounds of muscle but not being able to use the strength within only makes you a dumbass. You can be greatly strong, but if you don't have cardio, or you can't outlast me and I can outlast how long it takes for you to take a breath compared to how long it takes me to take a breath, only means that I have a better chance of successfully winning the fight if I can outlast your breath. Or if I get damn lucky or damn blessed and stop you from breathing within the first 2 hits, which is actually my plan. Or there's always option number B. When you throw that first punch and I clap your shit, one hand's here, one hand's here, I'm breaking your elbow and then I'm breaking your neck. If I can stop you from breathing, you can't hurt me. And it be not matter how big your ass is. You gotta understand the thing about martial arts. A lot of martial arts works on the power of momentum. The guy who has the most momentum but doesn't have the most balance generally finds himself on his ass a lot. Also depends on what style that some bitch you fighting knows. If he knows judo, he's just gonna throw you around like a little rag doll and you can be as big as the fucking Rock or as big as Hercules. If you don't have enough balance and this guy knows judo, he don't really have to work hard. All he has to do is just let you keep throwing the punches. The more you push, the more he pulls. The more he pulls, the more he's just gonna fling you around until he owns you. Now put that simple enough, and no offense to The Rock. He's a big guy, and he may know a little bit of martial arts. So, but like I said, I'm the littlest guy there is. And I know all the fucking martial arts. Just because I'm not famous and I haven't been shown anybody my skills, because not many people are subscribing to a 5'3" half-breed motherfucker who apparently will never have success. And that's cool, whatever God's plan is, I don't have a choice in it. But I did have hip surgery on my left leg, so I'm extremely vulnerable right now. But being extremely vulnerable really only makes me more dangerous to everyone who approaches me because, hey, if you think somebody's down when they're weak, you're only fucking yourself. Because that could just be the bait to lead your ass into a serious fucking problem. Now, I ain't but like 118 pounds. I'm trying to get my regular weight back up. Because of my hip, I'm not allowed to go over 125 pounds. So if I can hit 121, I'm good. And that's basically all I'm really striving for. The thing about fighting, you have to actually know your way around the fight. You have to know how fast it takes for you to recover when you're hit in the face. You have to know how fast it takes for you to recover when you're hitting the gut. When you're hitting a solid muscle area, you have to know how much pain you can take. Henceforth, that's why it's better to be tougher than stronger. Your body will adapt. So if you want to be a good martial artist, learn some wrestling. Learn every fighting skill in existence. Because if you don't, and that includes boxing, if you don't, you won't be able to adapt and adjust fast enough for people to understand what the fuck you're doing. I will be making a second video because clearly this is going on a little bit longer than I have expected. I'm James Williams. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2, and I am out of here.